Hello, I'm Dean Scott Beardsley, here today with Hal Lawton, president of Macys and member of the Darden class of 2000. He's built Home Depot's online business, led eBay North America, and is now responsible for all aspects of the iconic Macys brand. Hal, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You've worked for some of the great names in retail, but Macys definitely has an iconic place in America. How has it felt taking on the mantle of that responsibility and the legacy and redefining it for the future?
Yeah, it's it's a privilege and an honor to both work at Macys and be a leader at Macys. It is truly a powerhouse brand. It's one that there's a special love and passion for, not only amongst our customers but also our colleagues and the communities in which we do business. That said, super eyes wide open on the state of retail and kind of the incredible change of how consumers are shopping and the journey that we have ahead of us. That means we've got to do what we do well, which is great brick and mortar, continued robustness in e-commerce, rounded out with an incredibly powerful mobile app, invest in all three of those platforms in an aggressive way, and then continue to innovate on top of the business. We feel good about our performance the last few quarters, but we're pleased but not satisfied. We know that this is a multi-year journey we have ahead of us.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that mobile app, and clearly digital technologies have disrupted the retail space. Can you talk about your strategy to keep Macys' retail experience really relevant to rapidly changing consumer expectations? How are you bringing that into the
absolutely.
Digital world?
I mean, so I think in today's world, all companies are technology companies in many ways, just like all companies are really going to be data companies and analytics companies in the future. And it's the intersection of data, technology, and retail are truly a passion of mine. And so as it relates to Macys, we think about technology as having to have massive impact on our brick and mortar, massive impact on our e-commerce operations, and then also inside of our mobile app, which is really that indispensable tool that bridges both digital, e-commerce, and brick and mortar.
So let's go back to a great tradition, holidays. I think about Macys, I think about the Thanksgiving parade in New York City. How important is Christmas time, prime holiday shopping season for Macys and retailers? What can we expect from you guys for the holiday season?
Yeah. So I had my first Macys Thanksgiving Day parade last year.
How was it?
I was blown away by it. So I don't know what I thought before joining Macys, but I guess I thought we maybe sponsored it, like a golf tournament or, a sporting event. But actually, we produce the parade from end to end. We make every float, we make all the balloons, we hire all the talent that goes on, all the costumes. We coordinate the route with the NYPD, and really NBC, they put it on television, but it's the third most watched event national in TV every year. For us, holiday is where we shine. It's where the Macys magic comes to life. It's 40% of our sales, the holiday selling period. And this year we have some exciting plans. I think we've got our best ever assortment. We're setting our stores right now for holiday. We've got an incredible marketing campaign, and this year the thing I'm most excited about is it's fully integrated. So the marketing campaign you'll see on TV there'll be extensions of it into the store, extensions of it into digital. The same product, we have very kind of specific product themes around glitz and glam and coziness that you'll see pulled through those words in a much more integrated way. And when you think about Macys for the holidays, those themes should pop to life, and you should see it in all the assets we have out there, owned, paid, digital, brick and mortar, what have you. So very exciting, and we're looking forward to a great holiday season.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about different geographies and Darden. So before you went to Macys, you worked in different geographies. Southeast at Home Depot, then you went out to the West Coast at eBay, and now back in the Northeast. These are three quite global companies in many respects that you've worked for. How did Darden help you prepare yourself to be a global leader, and what comments can you have about mindset required to be an effective global leader?
I can't say enough about Darden and how it prepared me for my professional career. I think once you get into business, all people have high business acumen. All people are competitive. All people are driven. but it's that true end-to-end general management mindset combined with the leadership qualities that you get out of Darden that I really look and think about all the time when I'm in business. Whether it's at Home Depot, which is a scaled 2,000 plus store retailer that does almost $100 billion in revenue, and you've got to think about how you motivate 400,000 plus colleagues and how you're thinking about the fullness of being a general manager there, or at eBay, which does almost $100 billion in global merchandise value, 170 plus million customers across over 100 countries. Or Macys, with $25 billion in revenue, 600 stores, 130,000 colleagues. It's that general management mindset, doing those cases every single day, which gets you ready to engage and interact and lead. I think those are the things that have just been invaluable for me in my career.
Students feel the pressure to know what their career will be.
Yeah.
As you think back in time, was this all laid out? You knew exactly what you were going to do. And what advice do you have for the aspiring CEO out there that's in business school today?
Yeah, I certainly did not have it mapped out the way it's played out. I'd say a few things. First off, whatever company you're working for, aspire to be great at that company. And when I was at McKinsey, I aspired to be a director at the company, and I put my energy and focus in that way. When I was at Home Depot, I aspired to be the CEO of the company, and I didn't do it in a disingenuous way. I did it just with, I wanted to aspire. I valued that option. I wasn't looking outside the company. I wasn't looking around the corner. I was staying focused. And then I think, so aspire in the company you are, aspire to be the best you can be, and then follow your passion. For me, it's about intellectual curiosity. It's about constant learning and making sure I feel like I'm developing and evolving. And so it's always been that way. Whether I was at McKinsey, when I was at Home Depot or eBay or Macys, I just followed my passion. At the end of the day, I think it comes down to a lot of times. I think people oftentimes look at all the factors of their next job, and the thing they oftentimes forget about is who are you working for? Who's going to be your advocate? Who's going to be the leader that you're following? Who's going to help?
Individual?
Yeah, the individual person. And so that's another thing that I've always looked at when I was at McKinsey or when I was at Home Depot or eBay or Macys. Who's going to be my advocate? Who's going to create career paths for me? And if I gave no other advice, that would be the thing that's most important.
Great. Thank you very much, Hal.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.